What is up, guys? The Coollector 19 What is up, guys? The Coollector 19 here. And since New York Comic Con 2020 is just around the corner, I want to share my top 5 plus honorable mention Funko Pops from this year's edition. So, here we go. So before we start things off, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And you can also check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and like my Facebook page. Links will be in the description below. So, without further ado, let's get to my top 5 NYCC Funko Pops. So, at number 5, we have the young Ben Hargreaves. I would honestly put him on a higher rank because I like the show. I love the show. I've been watching the show ever since it came out. And the reason why I put him on number 5 because we all know how chaotic it is when it comes to limited exclusives or numbered exclusives when it comes to comic conventions Funko wise. And Young Ben is, I think, a 2,000 piece Funko Pop collectible or limited edition from NYCC this year. I would personally put him on a higher rank, but because, like I said, he's hard to get because of how Funko deals with bots and how chaotic it is when ordering from the Funko shop. There are people claiming that it's a spoiler, but technically if you watch the first season, you would see Bloody Ben on the bank scene, the opening, on the pilot episode. Yeah, Young Ben number 5, and I love to get him, but you know how hard it is going to be getting him. He will roughly go at least 200 or 300 bucks a few days after the con. So with that being said, I'm just gonna leave it out there. Young Ben at number 5. At number 4, we have the Wonder Woman Glow in the Dark. I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan. I actually I like Nightwing, the Nightwing release better than her. And just because it's a glow in the dark pop, you know how I love me some glow in the dark pops, and not just the glow in the dark bits. It is also a nice pose. It's very detailed. It has so many stuff going on around the pop. There's a lightning bolt, there's the lasso of truth. The lasso of truth glows as well, plus the lightning bolt, and Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot. That's why it made the number 4 spot in the list, and I'm not gonna elaborate this any further. It's just a nice pop because it's a glow in the dark pop and it's Wonder Woman, hey. So, number 4, Wonder Woman. So at number 3, we have Dwight as Recyclops V3. There have been a couple of Recyclops pops that came out way before NYCC. But for me, I think the best design for the Recyclops to date, in terms of pop-wise, is the SDCC Dwight Recyclops. And hopefully in the future, I don't know if people would agree with this because they're tired seeing Dwight Funko Pops, because I think Dwight has the most handful of the most number of pops Funko made. But in my opinion, for NYCC, I think Funko just went with the Recyclops with the cape, with the shoulder pads and the cape. I'll try to pull a picture up and flash it on the screen. But I think that's the better version of Recyclops that Funko should have made in the first place. Nonetheless, it's still Dwight. It's still a funny character. I love the character. I love the show. I've been watching the show for a couple of months now, or a couple of weeks. And I'm on season 7. My brother and I are on season 7, and yeah, we're kind of sad that it's about to finish in a few seasons. So yeah, number 3, Dwight as Recyclops. So at number 2, we have Nightwing. Nightwing, I think, has slowly become one of my favorite characters in the DC universe, because I like him on Young Justice. I like him on Tyrants. He's a pain in the butt to play against with in Injustice. And finally, Funko made a Nightwing pop, newer version of Nightwing. And also, finally, they introduced Nightwing in the Tyrant series. I'm stoked for season 3. There's no leaks yet, but I'm so excited for the 3rd season. And yeah, Nightwing, Dick Grayson. Yeah, I like his pop because the way it looks, I like the blue on it, the black. And like I said, he's slowly becoming one of my favorite characters of the DC universe. And yeah, business as usual. So that is Nightwing taking the number 2 spot in my top 5 NYCC 2020 Funko Pops. So before we get to the number one, and I think you know what pop that is, I would like to share my honorable mentions. And for the first honorable mention, we have Danny Phantom. I'm not the biggest Danny Phantom fan. I have watched a couple of episodes when I was growing up. The reason why I like this pop is one of my honorable mentions because it's a part of my childhood. So I mean, who wouldn't want anything pop related that resembles their childhood? Am I right? So Danny Phantom, I like the character. I like his suit. So yeah, he's one of my honorable mentions. So for my second honorable mention, we have the young Luke Skywalker and young Leia Organa. This is a part of the Rise of Skywalker where Luke was training Leia to become a Jedi, but at the end of the day, Leia finished her training and didn't proceed to become a Jedi. I would call it lost years because there are gaps and there may be core scenes or core moments in the franchise that haven't been explored in the movies. This maybe is one of the defining moments of the franchise because we didn't even know that Leia was about to turn to a Jedi or train to become a Jedi. So that is one of the defining moments for the franchise, for me at least. So yeah, that's my second honorable mention, the young Luke Skywalker and young Leia Organa. So for my third honorable mention, we have the Red Goblin. To be honest, I do not know anything about the Red Goblin, but because of the pop, how the pop looks, we all know that in a collector's perspective, some collect because of the sentimental value or the attachment to the character or to the franchise or to whatsoever. But there are also collectors who collect a specific collectible because of the details. I can vouch for myself because there are stuff that I really don't have any sentimental value or an attachment with, but because of the pop, how it looks, or the item how the item looks, it has very nice detail to it. I ended up buying them and adding them to my collection. So yeah, but like I said, I'm not familiar with the Red Goblin or who the Red Goblin is. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. I love the pop because the way it looks. I mean, from the glider, from the face, from the body, from the details everywhere. I mean, it swayed me to like the pop. So yeah, that's my third honorable mention. And on to the next. This one, the next honorable mention is also a part of my childhood. It's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. I have watched a handful of, or a ton of SpongeBob episodes, and I really like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. And hopefully, some point in the future, Funko will make Rayman their villain or their nemesis. But yeah, it's part of my childhood. It's part of me growing up. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and SpongeBob as a whole. So yeah, that made my number 4 spot in the honorable mentions. And for the last pop, we have the Venomized Magneto. I told myself that I'm done with Marvel pops unless there are pops that I really want to get, because it's a pet peeve for me that Marvel and Star Wars pops are bobbleheads, but some exceptions are the ones that I like and the ones that I really want to get. And the Venomized Magneto is one of those exceptions. Very detailed. Like I said earlier, the Red Goblin, I am swayed by very detailed pops, and the dynamic of the pop elevated by the pop is elevated by its cape, by Magneto's cape as a stand. And I like those bits, or I like those twists when it comes to Funko Pops. Just like Dabby's flame stand. I like how it ended up being a stand, also a part of the pop. And that is one factor that sways me to get a particular pop. So yeah, like the Hobgoblin treatment or the Red Goblin treatment. I also like the Venomized Magneto by the same reasons. So those are the honorable mentions of my NYCC 2020 pops. And for the number 1 spot, I think you all know what this pop is. It's from one of my main lines, My Hero Academia, and the only My Hero Academia pop in NYCC 2020. It is Mr. Compress. To be honest, Mr. Compress is one of the pops that I did one of the characters that I didn't expect that Funko will announce as a pop. Yet I would understand if it's Twice or some UA heroes or pro heroes or one of Deku's classmates. But as a My Hero Academia fan and collector, I know I need to get the pop. I know that it should be my number one priority from this NYCC, this year's edition, because I'm working on my villains line. I technically have every villain's Funko Pop, but not all of the modes. I'm still missing, and I'm the only one missing is the Big Apple Collectibles One for All, the one with the tendrils, or All for One. I keep mixing One for All and All for One, but All for One with the tendrils. So that's the only one that I'm missing, and maybe I'll get it in the future. And I know I should get Mr. Compress since I am 95% complete with the villains line. So I know I had to get him. So yeah, that's why he's on my top spot of my NYCC 2020 top 5 Funko Pops, because he's a My Hero Academia and I'm working on my villains line from the show. So I think that's gonna be it, and I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you agree with some of my thoughts, and I hope we have some of the same identical Funko Pops that we want from the Comic Con. So once again, those are my top 5 Funko Pops for NYCC, plus some honorable mentions. So don't forget guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and like my Facebook page. Once again, links will be in the description below. So once again guys, this has been The Coollector. Thanks for watching, let's collect, and I'll see you in the next video.